spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. The human drama of athletic competition. This is ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Brought to you by Lincoln Mercury. Nobody has more kinds of cars or more kinds of people. See them at the sign of the cat. By Goodyear, makers of the custom Steel Guard radial tire. And by State Farm Mutual. Almost anywhere you live, there's a State Farm agent nearby. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Coming up, we are led crazy that we call the Cowboys America's team.
You
would think it'd be
crazy,
a more recently successful team with that title.
Go
the
ahead.
Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl in 30 years.
30 freaking
That was also
years.
the last time they went to a conference championship. So now that they've hired their new guy, can they finally earn that title once again? Well, they have a lot to figure out before that happens. Todd Archer
A lot to
has
figure
more.
out.
Now that Brian Schottenheimer is coach, what will Jerry Jones and the front office do to make him more successful than the previous 6 coaches that haven't even made it to a conference championship? Jones believes the Cowboys have a roster that can win immediately. They have answers at quarterback, wide receiver, and pass rusher, but they have questions that need to be answered either by re-signing their own players before free agency begins, like Osa Odighizwa and Jordan Lewis, or finding help on both lines, wide receiver, linebacker, and cornerback.
Whether it be through the draft, free agency, typically that's not been the way we've done this team.
If your system's not flexible enough to do what your players do well, then you're probably in the wrong business.
You're definitely in the wrong business.
Schottenheimer's history suggests a run-first mentality offensively, although it should be pointed out Russell Wilson had 106 touchdown passes in 3 years with Schottenheimer as his play caller in Seattle. But if the Cowboys want to run the ball, Boise State's Heisman Trophy runner-up Ashton Jeanty would make sense in the first round. He played at Lone Star High School, and his games were inside Ford Center. The Cowboys practice home.
It's everyone's fave. Football analyst Sam Acho joins us now. So, Sam, what should the Cowboys' top priority be this offseason?
It's got to be to revamp their defense, specifically their defensive line. The Dallas Cowboys last year were 31st in points allowed. That was one of the worst defenses in all of the NFL. And so if they want to get better and be able to compete like the Eagles did, they got to start with defense. Running game will be fine. Figure out the running attack, figure out the offensive line, but defense wins championships. Point blank, period. We saw it earlier. I think it was week 2 of the season. They couldn't stop Alvin Kamara and the New Orleans Saints. And the season went on, and I get it. There were injuries, but their defense was porous at best. And so revamp the defense. I would say start with the defensive line, and that'll give the entire team a chance for success.
Such a good cliche, but it's so true. Defense wins championships. Okay, now, as I mentioned, favorite person, favorite segment. Here it is. Make Sam smile. So you're going to give us 3 off-season moves for Dallas that would make Sam smile.
Just 3? Just 3. Okay.
Well, the first one's already got me smiling just thinking about it. The first move that'll make Sam smile is for the Dallas Cowboys to trade for Myles Garrett. And here's why. Myles Garrett is a Defensive Player of the Year. Myles Garrett grew
Did you see what he did
in the
there?
Dallas area. Myles Garrett, alongside Micah Parsons, could be an unstoppable force and an immovable object on the same team. And so all of a sudden, Myles Garrett, who's already asked to be traded, is getting the opportunity to put the star back in the star, put the star back on America's team. So that's number 1. Trade for Myles Garrett.
Okay,
number 2,
that's number 1. That's a good number 1.
Draft Ashton Jeanty. Don't draft one of the best running backs in all of college football. That's what needs to be step number 2. Dallas hasn't had a real running back threat for the last several years. Ashton, someone they can block for. Go and draft Ashton Jeanty. And last but not least, we talked about getting better on that defensive line. Re-sign Osa Odighizwa. My Nigerian brother, Osa Odighizwa. He's a beast. He had a dominant year last year on the defensive line. Dallas didn't have a lot of pass rushers right now. DeMarcus Lawrence is not under contract. Osa on the inside, number 97, the 3 technique you want to call him under this new Matt Eberflus defense, could be a game wrecker. And so don't let him go in free agency. Re-sign my brother, Osa Odighizwa. That would make me so happy. And that would make Sam smile.
That would
made
make
me
Sam
You
smile.
should do more of that on SportsCenter. Thank you so much, Sam. We'll see you at the Cowboys.
All right, what's up, good people and Eagle fans? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. And don't forget, we know football season is over right now, but don't forget about BetUS, because BetUS still is the king of the betting. They still have the YouTube promo, YouTube 150. Go ahead and use that promo code to get 150% matching on your first 3 deposits. They got casino games. You want to get your blackjack on? You want to get your Texas Hold'em? You got it. There's basketball. There's hockey. There's baseball coming up. And there's football. Before you know it, we'll be back around. So make sure you check out BetUS, as well as checking out Miss Lola Hot Sauce. What's up, Lola? How you doing tonight? Jeff Lee's in the house, always looking for boobies. There's Dustin. What's going on, Dustin? Jeff Lee, the real fan, maybe draft the running back in the later rounds. That's a possibility. 2 Thrill for Life in the house. We got Gina Thorne in the house. What's up, Gina? Logan Motorsports. Why is it the Eagle fans are always the first ones here? Logan Motorsport here before everybody else. James Snyder starting a new job tomorrow. Congratulations. I hope that it works out good for you. Anthony Chavez. Will Dallas keep both Diggs and Bland? That is a big question. I guess you want to say the good news is with Diggs is the fact that most of his money was actually early on. They could actually move on from him this offseason, because as much as I hate to say this, I really hate to say this, but the surgery that he's had, when you have the microfracture surgery, and maybe a lot of you don't understand what it is, you've got your bones. Okay, now see, I can tell you from personal experience right now, when you have bone on bone, it just rubs like hell. You get the bone spurs and things that get in there. My doctor, like from time to time, I might wake up in the middle of the night and all of a sudden my knee just doesn't quite move and it hurts like shit. And when I went to my orthopedist and stuff, and he says, it's like a piece of pain breaks off. I said, a piece of pain? What do you mean? He said, basically, you're getting a piece of cartilage or you're getting a piece of bone that just gets wedged in between there, and it just is very, very painful because of what it does. So the problem for Diggs is, after having the knee surgery and things and the damage that's gone on with his knee, the cartilage is not there. It's a problem with the cartilage. So what they do is they harvest some bone cartilage and things, and they grind it up into a paste. They grind out a section of the bone and they put this paste in there in hopes that the cartilage will grow. Now, the problem with cartilage is it doesn't have blood that flows into it. And this is like the surgery of last resort for athletes. Now, they do have about a 70% success rate, but you may not ever be the same. And this is where you end up having arthritis and things like this. You can look at somebody like Todd Gurley, who developed arthritis in the knees and ended up shortening his career. Aisha Robinson in the house. Aisha, shout out to Aisha, always checking out the food channel and telling me how good the food looks. I appreciate it, Aisha. I hope you're doing well. So it could be that Deron Bland is the guy that's there, that the Cowboys re-signed Jordan Lewis, and I think that they should. I think he'd be actually reasonably priced. He's actually had a really good season, as much as people want to get rid of him. But you may end up seeing Diggs being basically an injury settlement, and they end up releasing him. The reality is this for the team is Sam Acho going through and explaining that, go get Myles Garrett. Well, you got to pay for Myles Garrett. Re-sign Osa Odighizwa. If we go through Over the Cap or Sports Track or Pro Football Focus, they're comparing his numbers to basically the top 4 interior defensive linemen and where they're getting paid. And where they're getting paid, he should come in around $21 million a year. And you know what happens with Stephen Jones. When we get Stephen Jones in here, well, you you got to understand here that with Osa Odighizwa, he's homegrown talent. We really and truly love him. But see, Osa's got to understand that, that pie that we keep looking at, that we need 10 pieces of pie, but there's really only 6. And so I ate 2 of them. And he needs to understand that we don't have all the money that we need to go ahead and pay him, partially because we screwed the pooch on a lot of contracts. That Michael Gallup one where we believed in him with a bad knee, and then there was the Zeke Elliott where we said we weren't going to reset the market, and we didn't reset it. Well, we blew that motherfucker out. We just blew the shit out the water. I mean, we really screwed the pooch on that one. And then, waiting for CD Lamb. Well, when you're doing things like trying to get as much publicity out of it, by stretching it out, and mainly for no other reason than I'm just an idiot and don't know how to do contracts. And so it takes more time for us to do things than, say, Howie Roseman. And, we don't know where we're going to go with Osa because we probably just can't do that. So there's a lot of things that you want to do. The good news is there may still be a lot of players out there that can help you. It's like Candy. What's up, Candy? How you doing? Jameson Taylor in the house. Curtis is in the house. What's up, Curtis? How are you doing? Thomas Garrett. What's up? Interesting thing here. You guys remember when we had Des Bryant? When we got to, here's the problem though, James. James, I can go over, James, we can go over the franchise tag and the traditional and the transitional tag. The thing is, if we go ahead and we tag Osa Odighizwa, well, the franchise tag for an interior defensive lineman, that's $23.4 million. And that's actually more than the contract. And so the problem with going ahead and franchise tagging, well, it doesn't lock us down for long term. But the franchise tag is basically a hard number. You can't, finagle it. You can't put voidable years in it. You can't hide it. You can't, backload it or front load it. It's that $23.4 million. It's going to eat that mother humper all the way up. Now, we could do the transitional tag. Now, here's the thing with the transitional tag. It's actually only $18.4 million, which sounds really good. But the problem with that one is somebody else could swoop in and they can offer him a contract of that 18.4 or a little bit more. And if they do, and we don't match it, then he just goes and we get nothing for our troubles. So it's a delicate balance of what we have to do to try and keep building the team. But we just want you fans to know that we're all in. We're working hard, and for you to trust the process, because that's when people talk about that 30-year Super Bowl drought, that 30-year, it doesn't really exist except in your mind and on paper. So, yeah, you could put the franchise tag on them. Now, you can put the franchise tag on them and try and use that to buy yourself some time and then release it later on, but you're still going to have a high number. Now, when you do sign that contract, because it will be, right now, you can make that first year low and reasonable. You're just going to have to take care of it later on. And so that's what they may have to do. The thing is that's a lot of money for an interior defensive lineman. But with Matt Everfuss, the number 3 technique is huge for that defense. And that's where I'm kind of like, with you, Lola, it's like $20 million. The only thing is this. If you don't sign him, you've got to do something in kind to replace the production. Our defensive front is bad. If you get rid of Osa, you've got Mazi. That's basically it. You got Mazi. Now, if you're going to go out and you're going to get a Myles Garrett and say, okay, then yeah, we can go ahead and let Mazi go and go ahead and get some lesser talent on the inside. You're right, Dwayne. Let's see. I agree, Lola. Where was his Osa the previous 4 years? Well, he got there this year. Osa ain't worth $20 million. Exactly, Lola. Give me 2 vets and take Osa. You're right, Dwayne. can't pay average players good, great. What I tell you what, though, people, here's the thing that you don't realize, and I can put this up here for you. If we go in there, and we look at the market value, because if you think about Dexter Lawrence, okay, Dexter Lawrence is 21. I need to put it on, don't I? Dexter Lawrence is 21.87. Kenny Clark is 21.3. Christian Balmore is 20.7. And Asim Neal is 24. So that averages out to 22. Statistically, when you look at Osa Odighizwa, when you take those four guys and what they're paid, numbers-wise, he's there right at average, slightly below, or quarterback hurries, he's way above. He's second highest in quarterback hurries. We don't have a lot of guys that can rush the passer. Now, when you talk about tackles per game, he's slightly below. He's got 1.5 per game. The average of those four guys is 1.6. He is a good player. He is a good player. The problem that we have as fans is we look at the numbers of what the defense did, and the defense is bad. We had so many injuries in so many places that we were lacking that he can't make all those things. Prayers to you during this time. History man. Who are we sending prayers to? I just hate playing players when all of a sudden they play great on the final year of the contract. Well, let me ask you this one. Do you think we would have been better last year? Here's the real question. Would our defense have been better last year if we had paid Stephon Gilmore, Jonathan Hankins, Dante Fowler, and Dorrance Armstrong? That's the question. Do you believe we would have been a better defense had we kept those four guys? Because this is what we're talking about. We always go, oh, we don't need that guy. We don't need that guy. Well, take a look at the Eagles across the board. Or take a look at San Francisco's defensive line across the board. They got studs and guys that are paid a whole lot of money across the board. Now, when you hear $20 million a year, that sounds like a lot, but it's really on how you structure it, and that's the cost of doing business. You know, when I've had this, when we were doing the house here, see, I believe in buying tools. I love having a tool that will take care of the job. When I go through and I need to buy a tool, okay, I have a criteria for it. A, will it make my life easier? That's the first thing. B, will it make the job better? Okay. C, will it pay for itself in the production that we have? And if it does all three of those things, it gives me a better product, it makes my life easier, and it makes me more productive. It doesn't matter what it costs. Oh, and it pays for itself. It doesn't matter what it costs. It doesn't. And that's how you have to look at it. So what you have to say is, what does the money I spend for Osa give me? Well, on a team that basically had Micah Parsons and really didn't have a defensive end on the other side, he gave us pressure like he was a defensive end from the inside. So if you look at it from the standpoint and say, because I know people are saying, yeah, but he probably just had a great year because it was a contract year. And that is the case. That sometimes does happen. But if you look at this and say, I'm going to go get Myles Garrett, just hypothetically, if you went out and got Myles Garrett and had Mike on the other side and you put Osa Odighizwa at a position which is key for Matt Everfuss's defense, what you're going to get with that now is he is going to be one of those guys that help make Micah Parsons even more effective. Because now, with Myles Garrett out there, Micah Parsons, and then Osa, all of a sudden, you can't double team all of these guys. One of these guys is going to get free, and so you need a monster. I know we look at this and say, I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money on that. I just don't want to do that. But, you know, it's like we had gotten when we were stripping these windows, okay, this is right here. My wife is the best stripper in Waynesboro. And I'm talking about stripping the wood, okay? This is 200-year-old wood that had layers of paint on it. And old paint is thick. It's thick, okay? And, you know, we like it thick. We like it thick, but not the paint. And so getting the paint off of this stuff, you had to scrape it, and putty knife it and use a heat gun. Well, my wife got a $29 heat gun, right? Oh, man, it's only $29. That thing, I think my breath was hotter than it was. I think if I just went, that it got hotter than it. And I said, honey, it's a $29 heat gun. It's like, yeah, but it's only $29. I said, baby, you need it's like, here, you need the Milwaukee one, okay? He said, but that's $129. I said, that's the one you need. You put that other one on here, it's like a blowtorch. And it heated that shit up, and it made your life easier because it was just like going through hot butter with the putty knife. And that's the difference of having a good tool. See, Stephen Jones is always looking for that cost-effective guy, somebody that's cheap. You know, we're literally at the end of training camp, and we're trying to plug holes in defensive linemen when the defensive linemen, out there are gone. Unfortunately, interior defensive linemen that are really good are few and far between. Maybe you get lucky and you draft one, okay. But our problem is we need not just Osa Odighizwa, we still need other help on the interior defensive line. And we have a lot of guys that are going to be coming back from injury that you don't know how well they're going to recover. We looked at it and said, oh, well, Trayvon Diggs is coming back. We don't need to sign Gilly back, right? Stephon Gilmore, because he's coming back. But he was never right. We looked at it and said, we can let go of Amari Cooper because we're re-signing, God, I can't even think of his name now, coming off a knee injury. And we ended up not getting him until week 4, and he might as well stayed off the field because he just never got it back together. So you've got to, James, what happened to James? My neighbor's wife across the street lost her mom to breast cancer. Funeral was today. She's going to bury her tomorrow. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, James. Man, my condolences and prayers to her. You're going to find out what grounding is, Spank. What's Spank Dog doing now? These Commander fans. Big Spank Dog. Hit you with some hard truths, but keep hope alive. Oh, you know what? Commander fans. Oh, my God. See, some people just can't have nice things. Some people literally, okay. Spank Dog, you had one good year, buddy. One good year in 35. Congratulations. But we saw the Giants a couple years back. They had a great year. Daniel Jones won a playoff game. They lost to the Eagles on their way to the Super Bowl. And what happened to them after that? What happened to them after that? Here's the wonderful thing about the NFL is, Michael Gallup, is just because you did good last year doesn't mean you're going to do shit the next. And just because you were bad last year doesn't mean that you're going to be bad the next year. Oh, Drew. Okay, Drew, this is not your fight, bro. Drew, this is not your fight. You're not a Commander fan. You're an Eagle fan. So, Drew, I know you like to get in there and get spicy and, turn into the Incredible Hulk with all your Eagles green and shit and talk a lot of shit. But, Drew, I'm not in the mood tonight.
Shut the fuck up. Shut shut all the way the fuck up until you reach the top of Shut Fuck Mountain, where there are no more fuck-ups to shut.
Big Spank Dog, are you new to football? You can only get better? Bro, football can go either direction, bro. Football can go in, and as a team whom used to sign every big name free agent in the past and have them literally not bust a grape, you should know that there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees in football. Oh, Drew. Hey, Drew, seriously, I'm not in the mood tonight, man. Okay? All right, fine. You were right. You know, broken clock is right twice a day. Okay? I want to put something here. Now, this is not a dog that we have in the fight. But I want to point out something here. I got to play this. Okay? I don't know if you noticed, first of all, Kay Adams is doing a lot more makeup. Okay? Kay Adams is doing a lot more makeup. But I was going through, getting ready for the show. You know, I try and do research. Okay? But here's the thing. I know I'm an idiot. Okay, I know I'm an idiot. I know people look and say, you know, you just get on YouTube and you just spit out 10 videos a day and just wait for the YouTube money to roll in and stuff. But, you know, you don't actually realize that I actually do work in scouring, you know, the news and trying to put pieces together and things like that. It's actually, if you want to be successful, not that I'm successful on YouTube, you have to understand that this is a job. Everybody talks about it being on easy street and, you know, you just do nothing and just sit there and smile. It doesn't work that way. You've got to actually know what you're talking about. And I've got a few of you guys out there. Let me say thank you because I said I'm looking at doing, expanding a little bit and trying to help some others that are starting in YouTube. Stacy White. What's up, Stacy? And I have had some people as far away as England who are interested in help me, Maryland, California, and stuff like that. So I'm going to do some stuff this offseason and before the draft and get back with you guys. It's a little bit crazy. I have to leave early tomorrow morning to get Michelle back to the airport tomorrow. Then I got to get back down here because now I'm part of the Waynesboro Historic Commission, and we got a commissioners meeting tomorrow night. And then I got to get back up the road on Wednesday because I got to get my truck because it won't be ready tomorrow. But I saw this. This was Kay Adams, okay? You know, like I said, well, first thing, when I looked at this, I'm like, is she using a filter? Is she? That's a filter. Ladies, you tell me. Is that a filter that she's using right there? Or just great makeup? I don't know what it is. But it caught my eye because we heard that the Steelers had contacted Jacksonville to say, hey, you interested in trading Trevor Lawrence? We're looking for another quarterback. And, of course, the Jags said no because they're going to owe a boatload of money. But I saw the headlines up on here for her. And Kay Adams says, I don't think Trevor Lawrence gets enough credit for how he's handled the start of his career. Oh, shit! Oh, shit! The fuck is that? So wait a minute. Wait. So he was the number one pick coming out of college, right? He was supposed to be a generational talented guy, and he's been a turnover machine and has not lived up to, by any stretch of the imagination, to what was anticipated, and she's giving him credit for how he's handled sucking? Is that what we're getting here? Let's listen to this right here.
And I'm excited to talk about it. It's such an unusual time for you. Like, being a new dad flips your life upside down, I imagine. And then there's so much change. You guys are still looking for the GM. You have the new coach. I do want to say, like, 3 head coaches and 4 play callers throughout your young career. You handle yourself very, very well, and I don't think you get enough credit for that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
The fuck is this?
I just try to stay the same. You know, I've had a very kind of crazy journey, and like you said, a lot of different coaches and staff so far in my career. And I think my rookie year was so wild that it helped prepare me for when things do change or some adversity. You know, it happens, and obviously, I don't want to. I'd love for things to stay consistent and be stable from here on out. You know, that's the goal, and I like everything we have in place so far, and Coach Cohen and the whole staff that he's brought in so far. So I'm really excited and optimistic about the future. And as far as the past, I think just trying to continue to learn and get better every year. You know, you don't let those things go to waste.
Okay. All right. So wait a minute. Forgive me. Monique S., what's up? How are you doing? Asa Robinson, Mark, this is a big week for me. My mom's funeral memorial is this weekend. My family and I are finishing up the arrangements, and I'm getting emotional thinking about it. I know you miss your mom a lot, Isha, and definitely everybody sending you prayers, and we're all here for you. So let me see if I get this straight. Dak has been, pretty much 500 every year and been in the playoffs at least every other year, had 3 years of 12-5, and he gets nothing but shit. Trevor Lawrence made the playoffs 1 year, had 5 turnovers, has been one of the most turnover guys in the NFL after being a number 1 draft pick, and he's getting praised for how he's handled sucking? So imagine that. So let's go a little further here. Let's get one more clip here. So this is about Trevor Lawrence does not want to go to the Steelers. I'm happy here in Jacksonville. I plan on winning a Super Bowl here, and I think we can do that. I don't want to leave Jacksonville. I'm not going to Pittsburgh. So wait a minute. Wait.
I'm glad that you're excited. I mean, there were these rumors and reports last week that you're trying to just decide between Huggies and Pampers, and then the internet decides that the Steelers wanted to trade for you. What did you think of that?
That's funny. I didn't really see anything. My agent texted me and was like, "Hey, this is a."
That's one hell of a filter she's
And then
got.
of course I saw it after. He texted me and said, "Hey, this is a report that's out there. I don't think there's anything to it, but I'll check into it." So I saw it, and it's funny though. When he sent it to me, I was like, I wouldn't say your heart drops, but you're kind of like, what? Like you think, and then I'm like thinking about well, I can't even get. I have a no trade clause in my contract, so I would know about it if I was getting traded, or if that was something that was going to happen. I'd have to be on board with it. So, which I'm not. I'm happy here in Jacksonville. I plan on, we want to win a Super Bowl here, and I think we can do that. And I don't want to leave Jacksonville. So I'm happy here. Obviously, not going to Pittsburgh.
Who's the person, since you don't have a GM right now, who's the person that calls your agent? What did they say? Like, that's such a crazy moment.
I can't remember. I think my agent reached out to Adam Schefter and was just like, "Hey, because we don't have a GM." And
like who?
Liam texted me actually, I guess the day after it came out, and Liam said, "Shouldn't even have to say this, but that's not coming from us." I was like, "Yeah, I figured." So
that's literally putting me to sleep. So I'm just now again. I'm jaded. I'm a butthurt Dallas Cowboy fan because we have not been to Super Bowl, okay, and so on. And I just think if that was an interview about with Dak Prescott and he said, "Oh yeah, we're going to win the Super Bowl," because he said that before, and how he gets lambasted and everybody, it's like insert joke now. So Trevor Lawrence says, hey, okay, first of all, gets praised for being a loser and sucking. And the way he's handled that, because that was a guy when they said, tank for Trevor. Y'all remember that, right? Nobody said tank for Dak. Nobody put expectations for Dak to be anything other than flipping burgers. Let's be real here. When the Cowboys drafted Dak Prescott, he was behind Jamil Showers as 4th-string quarterback, y'all. Okay? Dak says something about a Super Bowl. That Dak Prescott, what a fucking loser. You're so far from it. He does it. He does it. Oh yeah, we're gonna win a Super Bowl here in Jacksonville. Bro, seriously? You know, he is, mind you, he's $55 million a year as a quarterback, right? I mean, we do know this, right? He's $55 million a year as well. But ain't nobody talking about him. And are we really going to say that the difference between 60 and 50, that it's really that much money, the difference of being able to win a Super Bowl versus it isn't? Yo, Mark, did the coach say again, Mark, what did the coach say again for the press conference? Oh, apparently, I don't know if it was a radio show host who started. So it's actually a thing in Jacksonville because they are Duval County. But the coach took it to the goober level. He literally did head action. Okay, when you got to do the head action like this, when you say Duval, you just look stupid. You look crazy. And I'm just like, we need some Cluckberry? Okay. I'm just like, this guy. Oh, boy. He looked like a goober, man. I mean, y'all don't even know what a goober is. Y'all too young. But he definitely looked like a goober with the Duval. I'm just like, damn. That's some crazy shit. So, Trevor Goldilocks, right? But you saw how she's sucking up to him, and oh, you've handled it so great. I mean, if you read between the lines, you know, Trevor, you were a number one pick. You've sucked ass, man. You've been a complete disappointment, and you've handled it well. You know, and here's what I'm going to say here too. You know what? Last year. This is what kills me. You know, it should be the end of March or early April, there's always a really big autograph signing show. It's kind of not like it used to be because I remember in like 2012, I met Tyron Smith, and it was like $20 to get Tyron Smith's autograph. And I'll remember it because I knew that we were going to training camp and that he was going to be in the photo shoot for a Play 60 billboard campaign. And I remember meeting Tyron Smith, and he was like, I'm scared of Joe Boo. And I said, I will see you in 2 weeks in training camp. And he looked at me like, the fuck are you talking about? And we ended up driving from San Francisco to Oxnard. And we were on the football field after practice to do a photo shoot. My wife was there. We had a photographer and me. And I'm standing there with a shit-eating grin with Joe Boo. And I said to him, Tyron, I told you I'd see you next week. And he was like, what? Okay. We went to the autograph signing like we do every year. And we end up getting stuff signed and we give it away. That's what I like to do. I do it because a lot of the older players that have given everything to football and made football what it is don't have money. They're broke and they're forgotten. So whenever I have a chance to get, Randy White, Ed Too Tall Jones, Mr. Cowboy, I don't know how many more times Mr. Cowboy is going to come back around. I got Charlie Waters a few years ago, but Charlie Waters' health is terrible. And I can guarantee he won't be doing autograph signing shows anymore. I'm there, and I wanted to see Michael Irvin because, I talked to him with Dan Saleo, and Dan Saleo screwed me over on that shit. And because of all the stuff that's happened with him, and because I kind of have a little bit of history. So, Michael Irvin's like $150. It's still a lot of money to get his autograph. I still ain't gotten Emmitt Smith's because Emmitt Smith is like $275. Charles Haley is about $75. Okay, so think about that. Charles Haley, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 Super Bowl rings cost you $75. The week that Trevor Lawrence signed his contract, he was going to be at that autograph show last year. He showed up an hour and a half late. Do you know how much Trevor Lawrence, who hasn't done shit in the NFL, the guy who she's literally saying, you know, it's nice that you've been ass and sucked and have been a complete disappointment where we thought you were going to be like Peyton Manning, but instead you're more like Kirk freaking Cousins. It's great how you've handled it. That mother humper was $275. Trevor Lawrence's autograph, he shows up an hour and a half late, is $275. For a guy that's done absolutely positively nothing, who had just become tied as the highest paid player in the NFL. To me, there was something wrong with that. To me, there was something wrong about that. And I'm going to say that, you know, in all the years that I've seen Dak Prescott, Dak was never over $150. Now, that's still way too much. But $275 for Trevor Lawrence's autograph. The same as Emmitt Smith. Bro, I'm just saying, I get it. Jacksonville, not a great team, not a great organization. They don't have all the pieces and things, right? But can't you say the same thing about the Cowboys? Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, not necessarily a great organization as far as supporting the team. They suck at free agency. They let go 9 starters last year, and they bring in Eric Kendricks and Zeke Elliott. Not a great organization. They're missing a lot of pieces. They're lacking. But they don't give Dak that kind of cover like they give him. If he's not Michael Jackson, I'm keeping my money. Jags have nowhere. Stacey White, Mark, we love you, and Dak had a great career, but until he wins a Super Bowl means he's great, not a champion. Let's hope Dak gets what the help he deserves. Amen on that one. That is 100% perfect. Thank you very much, Stacey White, for the super chat. I agree with you. He'll be just a great player. He'll be like Tony Romo 2.0. But this is where everybody has already said the Cowboys, we suck. People are already saying we're going to be in the Archie Manning sweepstakes because we're tanking because we ended up getting Brian Schottenheimer. But here's what I don't think that Brian Schottenheimer is necessarily the problem if he gets the support. Because we're talking about Brian Schottenheimer for 3 years with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson had 106 TD passes in the 3 seasons he was the offensive coordinator. And at the same time, they were one of the best running teams in football. This is the same guy that got butt fumble, Mark Sanchez to the AFC Championship game 2 or 3 times. This guy isn't like Mr. Duval. I mean, you know, the goober that fell off the salad truck. Marino, greatest to never win a ring. Nobody cares about Philly 500 cheeseburgers. So, Jay, if we say Trevor needs players around him, how can't we say the same thing about Dak Prescott? That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, my reason for bringing this out And I get crucified because people just say, oh, you're just trying to defend a garbage-ass quarterback. He just sucks. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
James, hold up.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Wait, James. I did not hear that one. You're going to tell me that Kellen Moore, I thought he wanted Haslett. I thought he was bringing Haslett for offensive coordinator. Kellen Moore would bring Jason Garrett on his team as an OC. Be wary of Kellen Moore because, like Dan Quinn, he may look to go ahead and poach some players and coaches and stuff off our roster. Well, no, actually, we got rid of all of ours. Excuse me. But some of our players, he may look to go ahead and try and poach some of them. Mark Dak did have players have played. Wait a minute. Mark Dak did have played on him, but he failed. Logan? Okay. Real question. Okay? Logan, your team that just won the Super Bowl, congratulations. Let me ask you, Logan. What year was it that the Dallas Cowboys had a team as talented as the Eagles did this year? Just tell me what year, please. Tell me what year that we had the best offensive line in football, a 2,000-yard rusher, 2 great wide receivers, a really good tight end, and a defense that played lights out. Please tell me, Logan. I'm waiting. I mean, seriously, I'm not bullshitting. When you say we had great players, when have we had the amount of talent that the Philadelphia Eagles have right now? I'll wait. 2018, we did not, bro. 2018, bro. We started out 2018, I believe, 3-5 because we didn't have wide receivers. We certainly did not have a defense. Oh, okay. Hold up. Hate to tell you, you're smoking crack there, bro. We ended up winning some games, but we did not have the talent that your team had. We didn't have a 2,000-yard rusher. We did not have the best football offensive line in football because I believe 2018 was the year we lost Travis Frederick, bro. We were 10-6. We were 10-6 that year. We beat the Seattle Seahawks that year, and we were 22nd in offense. Our leading rusher, let me pull up the statistics here. Our leading rusher was Zeke Elliott with 1,434 yards. Your guy had almost 600 yards more than that. We got Amari Cooper in the middle of the season. We started out 3-5, bro. We started out 3-5 because we had Cole Beasley, Terrence Williams, and a rookie Michael Gallup. Okay? Our tight end was Blake Jarwin. Blake Jarwin. Are you saying he's as good as Dallas Goedert? Oh, we had Allen Hurns. I forgot. We had Allen Hurns as a wide receiver. We had Trayvon Austin was our kick returner. Dude fumbled all the damn time. We had Dalton Schultz, who had all of 116 yards. We had Noah Brown, Enrico Gathers, Terrence Williams. Come on, bro. 2018, now you're smoking crack, Logan. You're smoking crack. If you're saying that 2018 team right there, if you're saying that 2018 team was comparable to the team that just won the Super Bowl, bro, that's not even close. On the defense, let's see. Who do we have on the defense? We had Jalen Smith. We had Tyrone Crawford. We had D-Law, Awuzie, Xavier Woods, Leighton Vander Esch, Malik Collins, Anthony Brown. Come on, man. Come on, man. No. Sorry.
Disrespected yet? Does this defense have any heart?
No. They suck. I've been telling you all season, Philly.
They've shit on you. They've shit on you. Don't you hear me? Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Slate, they shit on you. They've shit on you. They They have shit on you. Don't you hear me, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Slay? They shit on you. Kill them.
Bro.
Oh, my goodness. Did he say they cock it on them?
I hate the style.
Bro, even 2021, we didn't have anything in comparison to what the Eagles had on defense this year, bro. That was the first year of Dan Quinn. We had Micah as a rookie, but we can go there. We certainly didn't have the running game in 2021 that you had. Let's go to the tape here. Dak Prescott has never had anything near, well, hell, 2 years ago of what the Eagles had. 2021, we were 12-5. Let's look at the players that we had on the roster here. Going down through here. Let's see. Zeke Elliott, 1,002 yards. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Averaging 4.2 yards a carry. Boy, that's just like Saquon, man. That's just like Saquon. We had CeeDee Lamb, which was good. That was his second year. Had 1,102 yards, and we had Amari Cooper. Okay, so I can say, I'm not sure I'm ready to say that a rookie CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper is the same as A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, but okay. I'm certainly not going to say that Zeke Elliott at this point was the same as Saquon. Dalton Schultz was our tight end, although he couldn't block, and he certainly couldn't break anything away. But Cedric Wilson, Michael Gallup, Noah Brown, come on, man. Come on, bro. As far as offensive line, we had Terrence frickin' Steele starting as the second year. We had Tyron Smith, who was missed half of the season. Okay, so we had Biotish, 17 games. We had Zach Martin, 16 games, All-Pro. Let's get down. Offensive line. Where's my offensive line, man? We had Terrence Steele, played 13 games. Osa Odighizwa, Randy Gregory, smoking weed. Tyron Smith only played 11 games. D-Law only played 7 games. We had freaking guys like Terrell Basham out there. Dorrance Armstrong, Blake Jarwin, Keanu Neal, Neville Gallimore, Jeremy Sprinkles, Brent Urban, and Cedric Wilson and Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson. You're going to literally try and tell me, you're literally going to try and convince me that 1,000-yard rushing, 4.2 yards a carry, Zeke Elliott, Tyron Smith only playing 11 games and injured throughout, and guys like Terrence Steele is the equivalent of the Eagles team this year? Are you really trying to do that? Come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, in 2016, I will give you Zeke Elliott, 1,500 yards, and our offensive line was at our peak. How was our defense there, bro? Now, we did go to the catch, no catch. I'm sorry, not the catch, no catch. Dak Prescott taking the lead against Aaron frickin' Rodgers, but the defense couldn't hold for 50 seconds and keep Aaron Rodgers from scoring. My quarterback threw for 304 yards and 3 TDs in that game. 1 interception. Still, not the same, bro. Dirty Sanchez. Read Dirty Sanchez. Mark, I don't know why you argue with these haters. You must have a lot of patience. You should know by now it's hard to fix. You're right. You can't fix stupid. But I'm not going to sit here on my show and just take blatant bullshit, because what happens is you hear bullshit enough that people start to believe the bullshit. And that's where you got to prove it. Because for people to say, oh, well, Dak's had all this talent and he's just sucked. Are you kidding me? The Dallas Cowboys offensive line after 2016 has been shit. Tyron Smith. Y'all don't remember when Tyron Smith went down and we had Chaz Green? And we gave up 9 sacks to the Atlanta Falcons? That same year that Zeke Elliott was being suspended by the NFL for 6 games, and before he was suspended, every week he was going back and forth to New York for court? and was definitely not the same guy. Then the next year we lose Travis Frederick, our center, without a succession plan. We got guys like Joe Looney playing center. Bro, you know how many years? Tyron Smith, in his last 5 years with the Cowboys, averaged 7 games a season. We had 1 year with Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb as a rookie together. Y'all done had A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith together for what? 3 years? 4 years? With Dallas Goedert, your offensive line has been as consistently the best offensive line for at least the last 5 years. And you add a 2,000-yard running back. And you somehow say that the Cowboys had talent like that? Come on, man. Sorry. That's about as fake as Kay Adams was on that interview with Trevor Lawrence there. That's the filters y'all putting on right there. Now, Bob, hold it. No, the mistakes, here's the thing. Here's the thing that's the worst, the thing that's crazy about that is I will actually say that the Cowboys 12-5s were actually overachievements for what the Joneses did in free agency. The biggest contract the Cowboys made in free agency over the last 5 years was Gerald McCoy. And he got injured before the season even started. So when you look at that, what if the Joneses had said, you know what, we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring in a Von Miller, or, we're going to bring in a Devontae Adams. If the Cowboys had said, hey, let's bring in a Ndamukong Suh before he got old, what this team could have actually done. Unfortunately, the Joneses missed their opportunities. Oh, and Michael Gallup. But here's the thing about Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup's second year, he had 1,100 yards, and we thought he was going to be, the next great thing. The next year, he had 800. The next year, he had 450 and got injured. And then he said, let's pay that guy. That has to be one of the biggest mistakes that they made till Trey Lance and Jonathan Mingo trades. You're not going to tell you all. You're not going to tell y'all mans. Okay. True players get the bare minimum and coaches. It's all Dak's fault. Okay. All right. It's going to be one of those nights I can see. You say we had a team? Oh, yeah. Jay, I'm giving you guys the ultimate compliment. That right now, you guys remind me of the 90s Dallas Cowboys team. You're loaded every spot. It's hard to say where there's a weakness on your team. That's a great thing. I can go ahead and I can say we got a weakness on our offensive line. Tyler Guyton is a liability. I don't know if Zach Martin is coming back. Terrence Steele sucks at pass blocking. I can look right there. There's 3 spots right there on my offensive line. I can say we got issues. Right now, my tight end play was not good enough last year. My number 2 wide receiver didn't really exist because Brandon Cooks was injured throughout most of it, and he's old as shit. When he had Mike out there and Overshown, basically that was our whole defense. Diggs was never right. Deron Bland didn't play till week 12. We didn't finally get all of our starting cornerbacks on the field together until week 12. Week 12. We lost 4 edge rushers by week 1. We did not have any freaking talent left. We lost D-Law, for Christ's sake, for most of the season. Yes, we know. And next week, we have the Combine. So the season is here. Or at least the offseason of building for next season is here. And y'all done made me, now y'all done made me pissed now. Y'all done pissed me off today. Damn. Would Dak do good with the Lions? Yeah, he would do good with the Lions. Guyton looks like a soup sandwich. Yeah, I'm going to say Guyton was not good. There is no comparison to. I mean, Eagles fans. When y'all talk about all this talent that the Cowboys had, we had Jason Peters, one of your cast off, not immediately when you casted him off, years after you cast him off, playing for us, mixing in there. That's how bad our offensive line has been. Mark, look at the team Dallas plays next year. Oh, it's Drew? At the moment, here's the thing that's kind of funny, though. Here's the thing that's kind of funny. A lot of times you look at the schedule at this time of year, and you say it's going to be brutal. If you looked at it and said, we got to play the 49ers last year at this time, you say, oh, my God, we got to play the 49ers. Not the same team next year. So some of those teams that we're looking at, we're saying that they're going to be killers. I mean, we thought Cleveland was going to be good this year, didn't we? They were a playoff team last year. 49ers, Super Bowl. Neither of those teams really had a whimper. So you don't know what you don't know. So you just take it 1 week at a time. And what you do is you try and build the best team that you can. And I don't know that the Dallas Cowboys do that. So with that being said, y'all done beat me up enough. I got to get out of here. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys, as well as you ladies, for being here. Trolls, not so much. Not so